A full jury is now seated for the trial of Kim Potter. Opening statements will get underway next week. The jury is split evenly down the middle with 7 men and 7 women. The lawyers moving quickly to impanel the final 2 jurors who will serve as alternates in the trial.
Paul Bloom is following the case for us. And Paul, an interesting breakdown here of the jury panel selected.
BC and Ken, one of the headlines here has to be the racial makeup of this jury. Significantly white, with only 1 black juror on the panel of 14. Of course, just 12 will end up deliberating the fate of Kim Potter.
All right, counsel, we have our jury.
The process went a lot faster than most expected, with a jury of 14 now seated in the high-profile, high-stakes manslaughter trial of former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter. The last 2 jurors seated Friday, alternates who won't deliberate unless something happens to one of the other jurors. Number 57, a woman in her 70s, told the court it would be an honor.
I have had the benefit of living a long life. I feel very blessed that I am healthy and can still participate in our society meaningfully. And so in that respect, I would feel honored to serve on the jury.
The group breaks down evenly by gender, 7 women, 7 men, but racially it skews white, with one of the women black, 2 of them identifying as Asian. The dominant age demographic here, the 40s, with 4 jurors in that age bracket, the same age as the 49-year-old defendant. Potter has vowed to testify and tell what happened during the deadly traffic stop shooting of 20-year-old Daunte Wright, a black motorist initially stopped for expired license tabs. The final juror, number 58, an alternate, asked what he remembers after he reported watching Potter's body camera video a couple times now.
She said, "Taser, taser, taser," and then said, "Oh no, I shot him." But that's pretty much all I've heard about the case. I've kind of tried not to look into it that much.
Now, there had been a lot of talk from Regina Chu about possibly moving up the start date of opening statements next week because of how quickly jury selection was moving along. In the end, the court is going to stick with Wednesday, as the 2 sides will need to hammer out some pretrial bookkeeping issues both Monday and Tuesday. Karen.
You know, Paul, I think the most interesting thing we probably learned this week during jury selection was that Kim Potter will testify. Now, it was kind of just thrown out there. It wasn't really an announcement. So could that change, or is that kind of an absolute in this trial?
Well, nothing is final until it happens, right? But they basically promised several jurors who ended up being seated that they would hear from Kim Potter. So it would be awfully hard to backtrack at that point. Also, in a conversation outside of the presence of any jurors, they doubled down. She had a conversation one-on-one with Judge Chu, again reiterating she absolutely wants to testify here. But again, it was early for this announcement to be made. We'll see what happens at trial, but I absolutely would be shocked if she doesn't take the stand.
And Paul, the jurors are not sequestered for this case. They are, however, advised to stay away from news coverage, right?
They are, and in fact, when they got their questionnaires as prospective jurors months ago, they were told to stop reading about this case, stop talking about the case. Those rules still hold true, and I understand today Earl Grey asked, because there's been a lot of media attention the last couple of days, that these final 2 jurors are alternates. He wanted to make sure that the jurors, as they headed home for the weekend, knew that they weren't allowed to watch or consume any news about this case.
All right, well, we've got several weeks ahead, and Paul, I know you'll be covering it starting next week. Thank you.